Hi everyone, my name is Emily Crook. Welcome to my LibGuide When Hollywood Found Its Voice, the transition from silent films to talkies. I'm going to walk you through how to use my LibGuide today, and then I'll turn you loose to look at it yourself. I have 6 tabs: Home, which is where we are now, 1910s, 1920s, 1930s, Meet the Players, and Additional Resources, which is where you will find any resource that I have not previously noted in the 5 tabs before. So let's begin. In the beginning, there was the photograph. I'm not going to read all this to you because I know you'll read it yourself after you're done watching my video. But basically what I tell you is that the history of the film begins with photography, and I go through about 30 years of history and end with the birth of film as we know it today. And from there, you go over to the birth of the feature film. This is a 10 minutes or so video from a group at Crash Course. They are endorsed by PBS Digital Studios, so they're both extremely entertaining and educational. If you find that you like this video, I suggest going back to Crash Course and watching the entire film history series. The next place that we will go is the move to Hollywood. And so what happened here is that the film industry was run by a group of major production companies that were actually overseen by just one person. There were actors who didn't want to be a part of the machine, so to speak. And so they wanted to break off into their own companies, but they were having issues with the major film production companies. So to distance themselves from those big companies, they moved out to Hollywood, and well, that's where they still are today. So they did the right thing. So I'm going to go to the 1910s to get us started. In each of my tabs, 1910s, 20s, and 30s, you will find some of the major players of the decade. So here we have Lionel Barrymore, Charlie Chaplin, of course, and Gloria Swanson. I have pictures of them at that age, and then also their birth and death dates, as you see there, and their earliest films that I could find for you all to view. So it's about the same format with the 1920s, but there are quite a few more people in this tab. We have Clara Bow, who is nicknamed the It Girl, Clark Gable, which most people know, and John Wayne as well. And then we have Jean Harlow, who left us far too soon. And though not a person, I do have a Walt Disney short, The Skeleton Dance, attached here. What's important to know about The Skeleton Dance is that they are it is one of the first videos that use synchronous sound, which is when the audio recording is synced to the video recording, and they're actually played at the same time so as to appear to be in sync with each other. This had not been the way things were done previously because they didn't have the technology to do so. So that's kind of where we are at the 1920s, and that leads us into the 1930s, into a new era. I only have a couple people from this decade because we transition pretty quickly. I have Shirley Temple over here. She's adorable. And her very first film is very clearly dubbed. When you watch it, you'll hear that these little kids are speaking with adult male voices, and obviously adult content as well. When you get in there, you'll see that. And then over here, Katharine Hepburn, just a few months after Shirley Temple, you have the first full-length film using synchronous, or one of the first full-length films using synchronous sound. It's pretty incredible how quickly technology changed in Hollywood. So then we move on to Meet the Players, and there we will find biographical information about each one of the Hollywood stars that I mentioned. And then over to additional resources. Like I said when we started, I show you the resources, references that I didn't share in the previous 5 tabs. So that is my LibGuide. I hope that it's easy to navigate and that I gave you a good explanation, and enjoy.